Hey everyone, welcome to the NextGen Future Philanthropy program. Thank you all for coming. My name is Zack. I am one of the teaching assistants here, along with a few other. So I would just like to start off by talking a bit more about my experience and what led me to want to be part of this. And it all started when I was brought to a trip with my mom and my family to Guangxi. And we had just arrived in a rural village where her nonprofit Sky 3 Seed was distributing what you call rainbow bags, which were art kits, to students in Guangxi. They lacked art education, and that night we stayed with the families there, and I stayed in small wooden shacks with no windows, thin walls, and with these harsh conditions that I was not accustomed to when I was 5 or 6 years old. I asked my mother, why do we have to come here? Why don't we just send supplies from afar? Why do we have to be with them? And she told me that kindness is not enough and you need a heart that is strong and composed. And at the time, I wasn't sure what that meant. I thought she was just trying to tell me to stop complaining, but she didn't. She was trying to get me to learn what the difference was between giving and understanding. And I didn't realize this till the next day when I watched a young boy quietly open his rainbow bag, and he just, without hesitation, no instruction, he just started drawing hills, the sky, the villages, all by himself. And when he finished, he leaned back and smiled, not out of excitement, but from a sense of pride. He had made something of his own. And in that moment, something in me shifted. I realized that he didn't need someone to give him a better life. He needed someone to believe and give him the resources so that he could build one himself. And that's what true compassion is. It's not just giving things away, but it's really trying to relate to the people you're trying to help. And it's sitting with them, walking beside them, and taking the time to understand what they actually need instead of assuming you already do. And more often than not, what they need isn't just material. This dignity, agency, and opportunity. In that moment, stay with me, and years later, it was why I wanted to co-found this program. And at NextGen here, we hope to instill you with the knowledge of how to help with intent and how to lead and not just be merely givers, right? And students aren't told what issues they want to solve. They choose whether they care about education, mental health, or something personal. They get to lead the way. And we provide the source, the spaces, the mentorship, and the resources, and the knowledge to walk it well and lead something of your own.
Hey everybody, I am Judy and I'm a rising senior from Shanghai American School. I'm so happy to see everyone here. So just to have a little brief intro to everyone. So I'm a TA as well as some of the other students here. So what attracted me and what stayed behind about this program was not leadership, but this sense of awareness about yourself, about the people around you, and about this world, about how we use this awareness and actually use leadership in the right ways. Because I've learned that leadership can take many forms. It's not just about being loud, having the right answers, but every single one of you have the potential to be a really amazing leader, but all in your different ways. So I can't wait to see all the great things you guys will do. One of the key things that I've learned here, I think, is the power of storytelling, especially now that we're learning how leveraging AI can help make our lives better. But at the same time, these human connections, the human errors that we desperately want to eliminate sometimes make us the most sincere and make us have like genuine human connections. And I think I can't wait to hear all of your stories and to see how your stories can build into your journey. This program really pushed me into thinking that leadership doesn't have an archetype and that all of you have potential to become the great leaders of your own ways. And by the end of this program, I wish that Changemaker has a special meaning to all of you. But it's really important to be able to imagine a world that you want to be in. Imagine a better world. And then by then, you can take a small step. Maybe it's a conversation, like a conversation with your neighbor, a little project or anything. But start small and we'll see the change.
Done so far. In Singapore, we've been visiting active aging centers as a group. So an active aging center is a place where elderly people in Singapore can come and kind of socialize with each other. So not necessarily a home. We visited there like maybe every 2 months. So we've been there, I think, 2 times. since, and we've done activities with them like karaoke, drawing, bingo. So this was our way to connect ourselves to the elderly, and we understood that it was a long-term project. So through our interviews and just talking to the elderly, we wanted to refine what we can look like and make sure that we put the elderly in mind when we're thinking about our VMS and what we want to do in the future. So our visits to our Active Aging Center, we visited them and we talked to the person who runs the place, and we had discussions with the elderly, and we even had Nourish Mind, which later they'll talk to, come help us. So it's really a very grassroots initiative from us. And another thing is I've been able to use my leadership that I've learned here to apply to my global concern. Some of you may know what that is, but it's basically NGOs that schools work with, and one of them that I worked with was in Bangladesh. And I had the opportunity in January actually to go visit my GC Ajago in Bangladesh. So I traveled alone to a country I've never been to before. So that's something you kind of get from this, because you get a lot of autonomy in what you want to do. And the last thing I just want to touch on is last week I went to a peace conference where I led peace building initiative in Timor-Leste. It's one of the newest countries in the world, and there we worked with the youth delegates to talk about peace building in communities and individuals. You have a lot of help, so whatever you're planning right now, honestly, make sure that you're passionate about it, but don't be overwhelmed by it, because you have an amazing support system. And I can definitely talk for all of us, but you can probably tell that we're really close, like all 6 of us. And I'm sure that you can find that support with your team members as well.
It's people-based, so you need to learn how to understand and listen, and active listening. So whatever projects you're doing right now, it is hard because it's only a week, but really do the research. You have to get an interview. Literally, you are in the internet age. What some of us even did was talk to our grandparents, talk to people online, go to Instagram, text people. You've got so many people who are going to be willing to help you. So that's my biggest tip for when you do whatever projects you're doing.